The journey of human life begins in an extraordinary way, long before the outward signs of pregnancy are even noticeable. During weeks 1 and 2 of fetal development, the story is set in motion with remarkable precision, involving a series of intricate biological events that pave the way for new life. Although it's common to refer to fetal development as starting with conception, medical professionals actually count the weeks of pregnancy from the first day of the woman's last menstrual period. This means that in week 1, fertilization has not yet occurred. Instead, the body is preparing for the possibility of conception. During this time, hormonal signals prompt the ovaries to begin the process of maturing an egg within a fluid-filled sac called a follicle. Meanwhile, the lining of the uterus, known as the endometrium, thickens in response to estrogen, becoming rich with nutrients and blood vessels. This lush environment will be essential for nourishing the embryo, should fertilization happen. As the second week unfolds, the body gears up for ovulation, the release of a mature egg from one of the ovaries. Ovulation typically occurs around day 14 of a standard 28-day menstrual cycle, though this can vary. The mature egg, encased in its protective shell, is swept into the fallopian tube by delicate, finger-like projections called fimbriae. This is where the stage is set for one of nature's most miraculous events, fertilization. Fertilization usually takes place within 24 hours of ovulation, in the ampulla of the fallopian tube. Of the millions of sperm released during intercourse, only a few hundred manage to reach the egg. Each sperm faces a challenging journey, overcoming acidic environments, cervical mucus, and immune defenses. Finally, one sperm manages to penetrate the outer layers of the egg, merging its genetic material with that of the mother. This union forms a single cell known as a zygote, containing all the genetic information necessary to create a new individual. Immediately after fertilization, the zygote begins the process of cell division, transforming from a single cell into a cluster. Within a few days, it becomes a solid ball of cells, known as a morula, and then develops into a hollow sphere called a blastocyst. During this time, the developing embryo travels down the fallopian tube toward the uterus, propelled by gentle muscular contractions and tiny hair-like structures called cilia. By the end of the second week, the blastocyst reaches the uterine cavity. Here, it faces one of the most critical phases: implantation. The blastocyst must attach itself securely to the endometrial lining. Specialized cells on its surface begin to secrete enzymes, carefully breaking down the uterine tissue to allow the embryo to burrow in. This process, known as implantation, provides the developing embryo with access to the mother's blood supply, ensuring it receives oxygen and nutrients essential for growth. Implantation is both delicate and complex. The body's immune system must be modulated to accept this new entity, which carries genetic material from both parents. If successful, implantation signals the release of specific hormones, most notably human chorionic gonadotropin, or HCG. This hormone not only helps sustain the early pregnancy, but also serves as the indicator in most home pregnancy tests. At this early stage, the embryo is microscopic, only about the size of a pinhead. Yet, the groundwork for all future development is already being laid. The placenta, which will become the lifeline between mother and baby, starts to form. Cells begin to differentiate, setting in motion the creation of all the body's organs and tissues. Though invisible to the naked eye, the events of weeks 1 and 2 set the stage for the entire journey of pregnancy. Through a combination of timing, biology, and a touch of nature's magic, the miracle of life begins to unfold.